Finnish cross-country skier or something. Oh god, here we go. Yeah. Does anyone have a preference when it comes to costume? Outfit?
Nope.
You got biker and jungle and heavy jungle. I'm ready pretty much whenever. Now I'm ready whenever. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, I tricked you. All right. Welcome. Oh god. Good job, good job. Welcome everyone to Lara Croft and the Garden Light. This is like spin-off of the Tomb Raider series, and it's like twin stick shooter puzzle game thing. And we get to the first skip of the game immediately. By doing that, we save like a 10-second cutscene, and that actually uses the main method of speeding up this run, which is called bomb boosting, which is basically just you jump and drop a mine and detonate it while you're in the air, and you get some extra height or distance depending on what you want. Also, there's that's another tiny skip that says like a second. If you mash roll during the screen transition, you can actually roll before the cutscene starts and trigger the cutscene earlier. That's another use of the bomb boost. It's a minor optimization. And here is what's known as a spear warp, where you place one spear and you trick the game a little bit to just skip right to the next load zone. And we'll use that a couple times during the run. Here I'm placing spears and using a bomb boost to go out of bounds. You can actually, for some reason, well, you're not supposed to be able to shoot when you're standing on the spear. But for some reason, when you're climbing down from a spear, you can throw another one when you're while you're falling, so it ends up higher than the other one. So that allows you to skip about, I think it's like 35 seconds. Here I'm going to try to bomb this ball directly onto the second button, which will save a cycle of these flames spinning around, and we got it.
Nice.
Hey. I was not expecting to get it, but that's good. And this first level is fairly it's actually kind of cool because it illustrates, it shows off all the tricks you do in the entire run, basically.
Still somehow it's probably the most linear level in the game.
Yeah.
Plenty of skips, but they're all really small.
Yeah. Like you do most of this level as intended, or at least you do most of the level. You just speed it up a little bit. Later on, you'll see we'll basically skip entire levels just by going out of bounds and doing fancy stuff. And I'll get into more detail when it comes to the individual tricks in a bit. I just want to get done with this level. And this end is just climb this thing as fast as possible and hope the game allows you to. Sometimes the game kind of freaks out here and the stairs don't actually appear, so you're just stuck for a while and have to wait. And that's the end of the first level. So in this level is normally one of the longest levels in the game, where you need to run around and gather up 3 seals and stuff to open a tomb. But we're actually just gonna take advantage of the convenient roof access. And we're gonna use a spiky ball to help us. So this ends up being, I think, with this strat, I think the fastest you could do it is like around 40 seconds. So it's a fairly short level in the run. We roll up to those stairs to trigger a ball. Start rolling down here, and this ball is our friend. And these guys shooting blue fireballs are not our friend. Screw you. And we just use this ball. Whoops, that's less than ideal. But it's okay, I'm just gonna let it roll down and kill some people. My angle is really bad. There we go. What we're going to do is to drop a mine and place the ball on top of the mine, and then... Oh! I screwed that up somehow. On top of the mine, and then hopefully climb up while we detonate the bomb, and for some reason that didn't work. So let's just wait a little bit. Third try this is pretty sad, but whatever. Come on. Can you, please? Guys, you need to sit down. Thank you. There we go. And then we just enter through the roof. Easy as that. Clearly, super easy. It's actually not a hard trick. I just messed it up. And here is a very good example of the bomb boost, where you just jump, and that jump is way too far to actually make it, and then you just drop a mine and detonate it, and everything is fine. Here I'm just going to use the grappling hook to barely grab onto the ring and then let go, and that actually also kind of resets your jump, so you get a big enough boost to actually make it down there. And you may have noticed that during the cutscene there, I just mashed the jump button to climb up those or that ladder during the cutscene, which saves a little bit. This is another use of the grapple hook, where I'm trying to get on top of this pillar, and that actually skips that entire puzzle room. But it's not really a puzzle, you just need to kill a bunch of dudes and then place a ball in the fire. But we just go around it instead. And here we go around this room because we don't want to solve puzzles. And again, we mash A and hope for Lara to actually climb up during the animation. And if you see here, the bridge is not fully extended yet. There is one more set of weights we need to pull to, or lower to extend the bridge fully, but we're gonna once again use the bomb boost to skip having to do that, which saves a decent amount of time. And after this, we'll get to the first boss fight of the game. Yeah, that's actually kind of hard from this distance, but sure. So first off, we attempt to climb onto these pillars, which you're not supposed to climb onto. So the game acts kind of wonky here because it has like a system where you automatically jump to the stuff you should be able to jump to. So on those pillars, the game kind of freaks out. And we just bomb boost and roll our way to victory. Okay, so this is the first boss fight of the game. Boss fights in this category, well, I guess currently all the real categories of this game are run on New Game Plus, which means we have all the weapons unlocked and all the weapon upgrades. So yeah, you can see the health bar of the boss at the bottom, so that's it.
The difference between New Game and New Game Plus really only matters in boss fights.
Yeah.
There's a couple of spots where you can use a grenade launcher to save a bit of time, but overall, it's a really small difference.
Yeah, so I think the general consensus is New Game will not be worth it. Also, here's a fancy trick. Hey.
Yeah, that's it, like what,
yep.
6 minutes, 8 minutes?
Yep.
A lot of time.
Yeah, you're supposed to go around the entire level and grab those spiky balls that we used earlier to put on pressure plates to open the gates. And there are 8 of those pressure plates, so you need at least 7 balls because you can also use your own body to block one. And if you, for some reason, if you just jump and tap the grapple button, you just clip through, which is handy. So we just instantly progress to the second part of the level. So there was something I was going to explain, but I forgot. It probably wasn't that important.
I can't think of anything in this level.
Yep.
It's pretty straightforward after that flip.
Yeah. These tiles are... Oh. Okay, I'm going to save this because tiles are acting up. Running at 60 FPS, these tiles are incredibly annoying, and you get stuck on like every single edge. And basically, the higher your FPS, the harder those tiles are to deal with. So if you play at like 15, whoops, nobody saw that. It's not a problem. It's totally worth it to die there for skipping a 5-second cutscene. I'm gonna do it again. Here we go. That skips a tiny cutscene, and we're gonna skip another one coming up here. By getting on top of this rock, I'm gonna play this super safe. There we go. That skips a pretty lengthy cutscene. Okay, let's see if I can actually get this. Hey. So there you're supposed to use a grenade launcher, obviously, to blow up those gears, and if you aim it properly, you can blow up both at the same time. Which is actually kind of nice because it saves like the time between your the time between each time you're allowed to shoot your weapon is actually pretty it's pretty significant. so only having to shoot once is great. And here comes my favorite trick of the game. Whoops. If Lara decides to climb, I'll just bomb this up here. Where we just roll up here and enter this next area from the wrong side. And now the game is very confused. So we want to go to the right, but if we actually go there now, we crash the game. Because the next area isn't loaded, so the game is like, no. So we need to roll over here to trigger the load. And now we're free to move on with our lives. Also, you're supposed to go up these stairs and over a bridge, and there's a long section where the bridge is falling apart and you need to live. But yeah, we're just, once again, just jump out of bounds. I think I got that. Yeah, it should be fine. There's another set of those spinny things. I don't know what they're called. That hold the gate. And if you just jump onto the tiles there, the tiles are supposed to spawn spikes and kill you instantly. But if you're fast enough, you can just keep jumping and everything is fun. And now we're on our way to the final really annoying thing about this level. This is one of the few cases where this game is like super random. Like, the game isn't fantastically programmed, so random stuff can happen, but controlling this ball, we need to bring this ball down to the end of the level, at the end of this room, and that can be somewhat challenging.
This used to be a really annoying part in co-op because the lag made it even worse.
Yeah.
Controlling that was next to impossible.
Yeah, that's actually something we could mention, is the co-op run of this abuses the fact that the netcode in this game is among the worst I've seen. Also, I failed that skip. That's fun. That's like 55 seconds, but it's fun. This is my punishment for sitting so far away from the monitor, but it's fun. Normally, you're supposed to jump on that spear and jump around the trigger for that cutscene, which actually
Normally.
yeah, normally. Which actually is the trigger for this entire thing. So the guy you saw in the cutscene is called Solot. He's like the antagonist of this game. His animation and his like trigger doesn't activate. So he's just there in his default T pose, and you can just roll past him. And this gate is actually open, so you just need to do another spear rod, which it's a shame I didn't get to show that off, but I went cocky and it didn't pay off. But as you can skip that in solving that puzzle and the cutscene, so it's actually really nice. Also, I think I already mentioned spears are OP. So for this part here, that's what's supposed to happen. If you jump into the spiky wall, you're supposed to die. But if we're actually lucky,
This looks like every time I try to do this, I've never gotten this successfully.
I think something's wrong with my setup. Maybe I'm not close enough. Interesting. I'm going to try a couple more times because this should be... Yeah, there we go. So you're supposed to just... For some reason you can just bounce off the top, which is neat. Also, you can hit this switch from the stairs, so you don't have to use... I can see the grapple ring there. You're supposed to grapple onto the ring and climb all the way down and miss a bomb boost. That's actually intended. Don't worry about it.
I know.
The angle there can be kind of wonky. So in this room, you're supposed to kill a bunch of dudes before you can pull the lever here and exit the room. But yeah, we can just destroy whatever's keeping us from doing that. That might not work. It's fine. So for the most part, the way you speed up this run is just clever placement of spears and why did I grab that health? Whatever. Clever placement of spears and bomb boosts. That's pretty much the gist of this game. And rolling a lot. Rolling is really fast. And there are small tricks like this where you can just, for some reason, the blast radius of the grenade launcher is great enough that you can. Oh, I'm going to do earn strats because they look. Oh yeah. Slower than the actual strats, but it looks cool. Oops. But yeah, the blast radius of the grenade launcher is great enough that you can actually activate the button from the other side of the spiky wall. Also, there is not really crazy strat here, but it's whoops. It's pretty precise, and I'm horrible at it, so I'm not even gonna attempt it. But you can do what's known as a moon jump, where you stand on a physics object and try to jump to a spear, and then if you do it correctly, the game's like calculation of the auto jump freaks out, so you just fly to the moon basically, and that allows you to.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that in any kind of run.
I've seen a couple people do it, but it doesn't really save. Like in this case, it saves like at best 4 or 5 seconds, and it's precise enough that most people take like 15 seconds to set it up. So
Totally worth it.
yeah. The swag though.
It looks so cool.
This level is an auto-scroller for all intents and purposes. The only thing we can do to speed it up is blow up those wooden bridges, which causes the fish that we were running away from to like mutant fish creature to spawn at the end of the level faster, which is required to actually open the door at the end of the level and trigger the load. So we're just rolling around here and doing the occasional bomb boost. As long as you roll, nothing will ever hit you, so except these arrow traps, but they don't really do a whole lot. So this is the final bridge, and it blew up completely, so he should be appearing soon. There he is. Beautiful. He's a handsome fella. I didn't get the spear. Boo. You actually get an achievement for beating him. It's called Instant Sushi. Yeah, so this, as far as the speedrun goes, this is my favorite level. This is super long. This is super long, and you need to do so much stuff. But by first using the grapple to get on top of that pillar and bomb boosting here, now you're out of bounds. Or I guess technically on bounds. So this is the end of the level, or the edge of the world. And the great thing about this is that we can just enter the level whenever we want by just rolling back in bounds. So this is not the case where a really long level turns into a super short one. I think this is...
It's a really nice thing that the level actually loads all the way through.
Yeah.
Not like Toxic Swamp.
Yeah, Toxic Swamp you need to go back and forth and actually trigger stuff. So once again we jump out of bounds and on top of this pillar, and this is the end of the level. And in co-op you can actually skip this cutscene. You do a slightly different strat, or not a slightly different strat, a very different strat, where you abuse, like I mentioned before, you abuse the lag of the game because the netcode is less than amazing. And you can actually, by using Lara's grapple hook or grappling hook, you can actually hook onto the other player and release the grapple and then jump again, and then grapple and jump and grapple and jump, and you can just infinitely just grapple away. It's pretty great. Also started rolling the wrong way. Strats. These jumps are deceptively difficult. They don't look like anything special.
There's something really awkward about them.
They're so
it's
weird.
Really easy to jump down into lava.
Yep.
For no good reason.
And here we don't like stairs, so we just jump down here. And this level is also pretty cool when it comes to skipping stuff. So first of all, there's some spinning fires here that we need to spend ages walking through. We can just jump down. And in this room, this is another like gauntlet where fires appear at the exits, and you're supposed to you have to kill all the enemies before you can actually exit, or you can just jump over. It's fun. It's all good. And here I'm going to do one of the few strats I've actually come up with. It doesn't really have a name, it's just the YOLO strat, even though there's nothing really YOLO about it. Most of the time it works. I went for the YOLO version of the YOLO strat, which was a bad idea. I don't think this is going to work. Nah, that's not going to work, sadly. The idea is just jump onto this before the head spins around and kills you. And it's actually super simple and saves like 2 seconds. And but yeah, if you do the bomb boost is that's the only YOLO part about it now, so I feel like I need to include it. And these jumps are interesting. Well, yeah. This is also clearly not the way to actually... I'm gonna go for this. There we go. For some reason the loading trigger for that area is outside the actual doorway. So you can just bomb boost past it. And here we just, again, jump out of bounds slightly and just, yeah, we don't want to fight
That
this
jump
guys.
is more difficult than it looks,
It's
at least in my opinion.
it can be really wonky because the game doesn't want you to jump that way. So sometimes you just auto jump back into the room you came from. It's pretty annoying.
Or you just jump completely out of bounds and die.
Yep. And these tiles, these tiles are same as the falling tiles. At high FPS, these tiles are awful, absolutely awful.
And they're also a great example of the netcode of this game being amazing.
Mm.
They can seem like they're the right way up, but then you walk on them and it turns out that, oh, it's actually upside down,
Yeah.
depending on how much lag you have.
There's a lot of stuff that can happen, in especially in co-op. That is extremely weird and kind of hard to explain. Where sometimes you just need to just, good game. Just blame the devs. Also, that was another minor optimization, which is after you throw a spear, you can change a weapon and instantly shoot from that weapon as long as you let go of your aim. So basically, I just threw a spear, let go of everything, and then change weapon and shot him again. And that allows me to shoot during the cooldown of the spears. So here's another one of those clips. If I can't actually see anything, I'm gonna kill you because you're annoying. Oh, okay, never mind. These fires coming up are completely random. Most of the time they're not a problem, but sometimes you need to take some detours. Might have been close, baby.
Oh.
That, however, was pretty close. That's also a kind of annoying thing about this is when you like what I'm trying to do a lot is roll to the very edge of stuff and then jump, so I cancel my roll midway. But sometimes it just doesn't work and you just roll off and die. It's not that big of a time loss, so I'm not too concerned about it. And there you can see I got stuck on the tiles for a while. Hey, okay, now this is another one of my favorite levels, the Mirror's Wake. This is another one of the levels where you need to grab 3 seals to actually open the gate at the end of the level. What we're going to do is, I'm
surprised you even remember the seals.
nah, don't worry about it.
It's been so long since I've seen anyone ever get them.
There we go. That's another version of the thing we did in Temple Grounds, the second level, where you just place a bomb. Only this time we wait for a little bit for the cooldown of the bomb, and then we drop another bomb while we're riding the ball. That allows us to bomb directly out of bounds. So similar to Twisting Bridge, we're just gonna roll to the end and hopefully not miss the jump at the very end. The bad thing about this is that you spend the entire level out of bounds, so you get no checkpoints. So if you mess up this jump, it's back to the beginning. But we're fine. And this is the final level. It's just a long boss fight in, I guess, 6 phases. 3 major phases, and every phase has 2 phases. Or you need to kill the boss twice in each phase. There's one bit of RNG in this fight, which are these tiles on the floor. The first few sets, like the first few patterns, are set, but there's one section at the very end that is fairly random. But as long as you keep her cool and don't freak out, it usually ends up working out. In co-op, you actually skip this entire phase by just jumping around this spiky wheel of death right here. You just clip through the edge of it and jump past it. So once again, this pattern is always the same. Oops, it's way too early. And now one more set of spiders, which we hopefully won't even see. Cool. And this part is RNG. Mostly it just spawns where you are, so you just need to keep an eye out. And because I said it was easy, it would be very fitting if I died here. But it's probably fine. I don't like this though. I'm getting trapped in the corner. Right. You might also see at the bottom of the screen, there's like this flashing dragon bar thing. I think it's called the relic meter, and because of the the artifacts and something else, like basically the upgrades you or the items you have equipped for in this game, you get different like bonuses. So once the rage, or not the rage bar, the relic meter is filled, you get, in my case, you get double shots and power shots. Basically just means your weapons deal more damage and shoot twice. So you can do stuff like that, where you can blow up the dude instantly before this phase actually begins. And I didn't get the chain, that's a shame. There you go. When I say the chain, it just means you have to blow up a certain amount of skeletons in this phase, and good aim. There we go. You need to blow up a certain amount of skeletons, and if you time it correctly and actually place your mines correctly, you can blow up all the skeletons you need, like instantly, to make the big guy spawn, which again is the trigger for the next part of the phase. So this has actually been going really well, this final part. So now this is the final phase, and once again the relic meter is filled. So I'm gonna, instead of using my spear light, which is what I would default to, I'm gonna use my railgun instead, because when you use a spear with double shot, you don't actually throw two spears, you just throw one. But with the railgun, which it's supposed to deal the same amount of damage, it still shoots twice, so it allows you to kill the boss in one shot instead of two. So I'm gonna try something. It didn't work. Never mind. If you wait for the spawns of these lava golems and time stuff correctly, you can actually kill two at the same time, and that stops them from spawning completely. So this is the hardest trick in the game. As long as you're running at 60 FPS, you can just stand here and do nothing, and the boss will never hit you. However, if your FPS fluctuates for whatever reason, you get hit and lose your relic meter, and then you're sad. There we go. And time is coming up. And that's time. 28 minutes, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Sadly though, we missed the 420 on the last level.
A tiny bit faster.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have messed up the chain. Everything would have been fine. All right, that's it for me. Thanks. Yay.